Oh,
Okay, I'm
goodness.
sorry. I just saw a cat video of a kitten messing up a bed and then the
Let's
mama cat
check.
coming and tidying up the sheets. Literally remaking the bed.
Nice. Good job, cats.
Uh-huh.
Showed my daughter a video about how corgis' butts apparently float in water, where they kept like pushing down the corgi's butt and it would just slowly float back up to the top.
That
That
is
was the funniest thing ever.
it's not the thing I was expecting that sentence to go, but I feel like we all learned something today. Oh man.
Oh, fuck.
God. Okay.
Okay,
Unique
okay, hold on.
New
Hold
York.
on.
Unique New York.
It only fucking is unique, I'll give you that much. Okay, okay. No, don't go live yet. Don't go live yet. I can see you. I can see you
It's too
start
late. It's
getting
already
ready to
live.
start the show. I mean, he's getting ready to start the show. I can see it in his
Ah,
face.
ah,
All you
re-
need to do is start counting. But no.
what?
I'm assuming you have Discord up on your computer right now, Boston.
Absolutely
You
not.
always do.
It's up on my phone, but like,
Okay. Hold on, because
Why are you going to send something horrible?
I'm going to send the best image ever, provided it actually works.
is this something you would like me to put on stream?
No, it's just
Okay.
something that I just saw, and I had to stop myself from dying of laughter.
So I guess I will probably put it on stream either way. Let's open up Discord.
Okay.
Come
I
on,
thought it
Discord,
was
you can
very
do it.
appropriate considering us.
Oh man. Hello, Risen Sparrow. Thanks for hanging out with us.
It made me laugh, so I had to. I literally almost guffawed so loud on the stream because of it. And it's in the Patron Peeps thread, by the way.
All right, let me put this on stream. Let's see how I can do this.
If there's one thing that sums up me and you, it's that one image.
Okay, add source, screen capture, scene selection. Pick that image. It's just gonna be right here in the middle of the screen.
It's marvelous.
Real good. Thank you for that. That has genuinely made my day better.
Yep.
Oh man.
It's one of those things where you just see an image and you just like, it's like, okay, no, that's amazing. I have to show everybody else that right now.
Yep. Oh man. Now are you guys ready?
Well, after saying that, how can you not be motivated?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready to go pet some cats. What's up?
Oh yes, I'm ready. I guess. Sure.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpair.
Hi, bug home.
And the Nymph.
Hi.
Episode 750.
Oh.
3/4 of the way there. Till I cancel this
250
show.
to go.
I don't
off the docket, and another show will take its place.
That's right. TVGP 2.0. Let's go. Episode 1.
You shall strike me down here, I shall become ever stronger.
This isn't even my final form. I usually don't do anything special for these kind of milestone episodes, but I wanted to say thank you for listening. Greatly appreciate it. The show has been doing well lately, and I hope we entertain you, and I hope we make your day a little bit brighter every week. It's been 750 straight weeks of this, which is a wild number, and I won't think about my mortality surrounding that, so we'll just keep moving on to patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Recommended tier is the $5 tier. That gets you everything, including the exclusive uncensored Outcast, where we talk about kind of all the other stuff that's going on in our life other than video games. Had a real heavy TV show Outcast today. So if you wanna weigh in on what probably gargantuanly large TV show Moonpair should watch next, maybe listen to, depending on how good the show is, go check that out.
If you want content, talk to me about it. Let me know that you might be interested in some of this content, and then I might have to speak around and see if there's anybody willing to do said content with me.
Hashtag content.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hashtag content.
That's right. You also get early access to We Roguelike It, show where Moon and I are playing every roguelike in history. Wink. And Critical Misses, show where Moon and I are going through and watching all the media hits we've missed, listening to for one season, which we should probably get back to at some point. Check all that stuff
I already added that one in the working on list.
Perfect. What was if you're at the $5 tier, don't forget you can get the exclusive Critical Misses production meeting in between seasons, where we kind of talk about how the show's going, what we want to change, if the show's still sort of meeting what we wanted to do with the show, and then try and figure out what the next season is of media to curse us with. Listen to that. We have 2 episodes of that out now. Started doing that with season 11. And we'll keep doing it as long as people say they like it, and as long as they listen to it, over at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
With myself?
Heyo. Keep this podcast blue.
Yes.
Please don't. I already have Pup to edit. Speaking of picking up the Pixels RPG Love, episode of that also out at the same time. Episode 128 is out. We talk a lot about Horizon Forbidden West. A surprising RPG.
I really like when you remember to mention Pup, because that is my 2-minute warning that I have 2 weeks left to finish the Game Club game before we record.
Game Club game Sable, which we also realized at the end of that recording, the other 2 people on the show need to start that too. Being me and Musim. It's been a good month.
Good to know. At least I'm not alone.
Yeah, you're in good company.
Okay, so let's see. So let's start with Hitman 2016.
Yes.
I've seen a
lot of promising pictures on Twitter.
Yes.
I finished Hitman 2016. I did the bonus DLC content 2, which means that I have officially started Hitman 2.
Yes.
However,
oh no.
Now, Nymph, this might be valid for you, because you mentioned you were interested in Hitman, but then you got scared away by the hard drive size. Oh boy. Okay, so here we go. The versions of Hitman 2 that exist on the Xbox platform, I have never been confused by the Xbox store before until now.
Okay.
Because there's like 5 different versions of Hitman 2 and 5 different sets of DLC and so on and so forth. But yeah, let's get into the most important thing first and foremost. Hitman 2 does not let you transition your save information from Hitman 1.
Okay. I find myself a little surprised by that.
It's because it was different publishers, because it was Square for Hitman 2016 and Warner Brothers Games for Hitman 2.
Gotcha.
However, if you own Hitman 1, or if you buy the gold edition of Hitman 2, you get the Legacy Pack, which is Hitman 1 in Hitman 2 engine.
Maybe that's where I got confused about, like, yeah, Hitman 1 is like in Hitman 2. What's the big deal? I see.
And then the save progress from Hitman 2 can be carried over to Hitman 3.
So, are you telling me that you have to replay Hitman 1 version Hitman 2 for your achievement.
Aha.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner, folks.
Oh, no. Okay.
Having just beat Hitman 1, I now have to play Hitman 1.
Let's do it again. Play it again, Agent 47.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I now have to play Hitman 1 in Hitman 2 in order to have my progress carry over to Hitman 3.
Silver lining, though.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's super fresh in your head.
Were any of those achievements just like stupid, like random
Drop a toilet
stuff,
on a dude's head, like anything like that?
At precisely 2 o'clock on the second toll of the bell kind of BS on July 2nd of,
It's not a From Software game. Hey-o.
Yes,
they don't have those kinds.
Later.
This isn't Halo, where you had to play on, like, July 7th, 2017 at 7 p.m. or something?
Oh, yeah.
Or Batman Arkham City, where you have to go see
the
calendar 35 times during the year.
Right.
So the way each map, well, in Hitman 1 at least, and I'm pretty sure the achievements are the exact same carrying over to Hitman 2. For every map you get, if you complete the contract, you get an achievement. You do need to do a level 5 escalation on every map. That is an achievement as well. And that's basically just it's a special mission where it's like, okay, go and kill this random person who's not the main target from the level itself. Dressed as this, wearing this. Then you complete that, and then the next mission is now do it again, but there's more security cameras, and you need to delete the footage within 2 minutes of being spotted.
Okay.
Then level 3 is like, okay, now you've got a second person you need to kill, as well as the previous steps. And then the third one is the fourth one is like, now you can't change your outfit from this outfit when you put it on, because if you do, you fail the mission. And then the final version will be all of the above, and then now you've got a 5-minute time limit or whatever.
It's European extreme.
Yes. So like, it's usually do the mission, do an escalation, complete all of the opportunities, which is the guided mission structure, which is hilarious because in Hitman 2016 they call it opportunities. In Hitman 2 they call it mission stories.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird, but whatever.
It's like a little bit more descriptive of like, here are the interesting things you should probably go check out for this mission.
Yeah, exactly. And for example, in the Paris level, which is the first main level in Hitman 1, one of those opportunities is the Helmut Kruger storyline, which is how if you follow those opportunities, then you end up getting the Helmut Kruger outfit, and then that's what allows you to, go around the rest of the level. Exactly.
Right.
So you do all of those, but usually all of those will lead you to a specific type of assassination. So the Helmut Kruger one, you end up having a meeting with this lady, and if you have the items with you, you can drown her in a toilet, you can garrote her, you can shoot her in the face, you can poison her water. Like, it basically, each of the opportunities is a way to get you one-on-one or in a very good position for assassinating one of the targets. So if you follow them and then do the assassination, like every level has challenges, which the challenges give you mastery. The mastery maxed out at 20. That's one of the achievements as well, is to get level 20 mastery. So one of the ways I do it is I just save scum it. So it's like, okay, I'm Helmut Kruger with the lady target directly in front of me. She drinks out of that water, so I have poison on me, so I'm going to save it, poison the water, kill her, get the challenge done, reload it. She goes into the bathroom, I'm going to drown her in the toilet, reload it. Now I'm going to garrote her. Now I'm going to just shoot her from the place where I'm sitting.
It's like a time loop movie. You're going to do all the permutations.
It's the end of Deadpool 2 when Ryan Reynolds goes back and like shoots himself in the head when he tries to take the Green Lantern script. So I do that to get as many of those challenges done. You don't have to do it. I just do it so I don't have to play the whole level again for a bunch of these challenges.
Right.
And then I restart the level and do a different opportunity to get me a different kill with either a different target or a different thing. Like, I think the second level is, if you're a gardener, you can set, or a golf instructor, you can put an explosive golf ball on this dude's tee so that when he hits it, he blows up.
Ah, that classic goof.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And then okay, so complete the mission, escalation, mastery level 20. One is usually a secret achievement, which is do something random on the level, and that one is one that I have to go to guides for. Sapienza, it was summon the Kraken, which is shoot the bells on this boat, and then the Kraken comes out, and it's like, okay, that's an achievement, fine, whatever. And then usually the final achievement on each map is kill the targets in a specific way. So one of them, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them was like, okay, kill this person using a toilet. I'm not kidding. That's legitimately one of the ways you can kill somebody, by dropping a toilet on their head.
I am aware of the giant bomb meme of this toilet goes everywhere and kills everyone.
Right.
Then it'll be kill the other target using the giant moose display.
Right.
And then kill them both using the APC guns. So if you follow the opportunities, you usually unlock at least all of those methods of killing one by one, kind of thing.
Sure.
So it does a pretty good job of taking you down each of those paths and then giving you the chance to do it. And now I'm doing it all again in Hitman 2.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually relatively fine with, because like the controls feel a lot tighter straight away in 2. And now I also have bushes I can hide in.
Even better.
I can put bodies in the bushes and all
You're
kinds
ready
of
for
stuff like
Fortnite
that.
any day now.
And it does the Assassin's Creed thing of when you're in a crowd now, it gives you that circle showing that you are blending in with that crowd, so people can't spot you, which is cool. I do have the base game now. It has the contracts achievements in, which is like a contract, like the thing that a bunch of fans of this game will just put together, like weird missions of like completing contract.
Yeah.
So I've started working my way through them. There's one for getting a top score, which is easy. You just create your own contract, complete it badly, then complete it again well, and then I've got that one done. There is do a featured contract, which was a nightmare because I don't have mastery on any of the maps, so I don't have any unlocks, any new starting points, any new outfits. I don't have any of that anymore. So that's going to be a bit more annoying. And there's one that's complete 10 contracts. Nice, easy guide for you here if you're interested in getting that complete 10 contracts achievement. Just go into the contract search, put it as search for one target only, and then just look for contracts that say kill order and then a date. Because that is people just creating default contracts, which is usually for completing the tutorial. So it's
gotcha.
Kill one dude, be done with it. Kill another dude, be done with it. You know, so nice and quick contracts to do there. I actually have to still do that. But no, so far Hitman 2 is relatively fun still.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying my best to not get burnt out on it. So it's very much a case of, I've got chicken in the oven. I'm gonna, I've got 45 minutes. I'll sit down and knock out these couple of things really quick. Do these opportunities.
Do a couple of runs. Yeah.
Are you starting to see the Matrix with this game while you're cooking that chicken? You're like, I have an oven mitt and tongs.
That's right. What can I do?
It's very much like Assassin's Creed, where you start seeing things around the world. Like, I was never a thrown objects person. Like, I was distract him with a coin, bring him somewhere where nobody's going to see, and then I'm just going to subdue them, put them in a closet, and be done with it. Whereas now, because I've been playing so many different modes in it, I'm like, no, I've got this little stone cowboy head. I'm just going to chuck it at this dude on the other side of the room. He's going to get knocked out. Then the person standing on this side is going to investigate that. And then I'm going to subdue him. Then I'm going to go over and drag them both and put them in the freezer. Right. Probably killing them, but 20 BPM. Batman rule.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
They're in the freezer. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It's out of your hands. It's God's will.
That's right.
Exactly. And then occasionally I'll do something stupid, like think, I've got a can in my hand, which I'm going to throw and knock this person out. And then not realize that in the meantime I picked up a screwdriver, which then, instead of knocking them out, just impales them with a screwdriver. It's like,
whoopsie.
It's like, oh no, non-target killed. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, well, that happens in this business every day.
I hope he recovers well when he doesn't wake up ever again. I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Bye.
Oh, I feel so bad when I kill someone who's non-target, but at the same time, I'm doing better of
parsing out your targets.
No, like not caring so much. Like, because it's one of those things where, like, I used to get annoyed when anybody would even get suspicious of me, and it's just like, I need to be more forgiving with myself, because you know, the quote-unquote enforcers will see through your outfits, and they'll start investigating you, and they'll walk towards you while being like, "Hey, who are you?" I'm like, "Well, that cover's blown. It's not." You just walk away, get some distance on them, break line of sight, and go hide somewhere, and they're like, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a box.
That's
kind of thing.
Just a box.
And then, you know, he walks away and my outfit is fine, and nothing has been disturbed. What I was terrible about, as soon as someone was investigating me, I used to be like, nope, load this game. Nope, load this game. But now I'm much more,
this outfit's compromised.
Giving of myself. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm being a lot more forgiving for myself and for everybody else.
Right.
Maybe not for the targets, you know, who have toilets and life rafts and poisoned, and
it's rough out there, man. It's rough out there for like a
church and landed on a spire.
I mean, accidents happen when you're some sort of warlord. It's a side effect of the job.
But it's fine. It's fun. I like Hitman. Hitman is. I don't know why it's clicking with me particularly now. Maybe it's just having something that is controllable and methodical that I can do.
Yeah.
In comparison with, you know, my life and the world at large kind of thing.
Well, and like each level isn't like a 40-hour commitment. You know, it's like I can get better, I can get faster at this level. Like you can kind of optimize your stuff, and one level can kind of just be like, oh, I know how to do this one. I'll just in and out in 5 minutes. It'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. And some of those things work out pretty nicely. Some of them don't. It's fantastic. You know, it's worked out.
Yep.
But no, Hitman 2 is great. And Nimb, if you are interested in Hitman, get the gold edition of Hitman 2. Ignore Hitman 1, because that is the one that has all of the season pass, all of the Hitman 1 stuff, all of the Hitman 2 stuff, everything included.
Okay.
So
I'll probably forget and then go through and beat it and then load that up and be like, son of a...
Did you know the saves don't carry over? Like...
Yeah.
And
I feel like we've talked about this.
Yeah.
It's only like 92 gigs, so you're fine.
Yeah. Well, compared to a different game that I'm going to be talking about, that was 99 gigs.
Yeah, I got 99 gigs, but a game ain't one.
There you go.
My final game this week is Rainbow Six Extraction, which I managed to sneak a little bit of time in with this game. I hate how much I'm enjoying this game.
Man, when a Ubisoft game like grabs us, it really sinks its teeth into us.
Well, it's one of those things as well where, like, it's all the joy and the beauty of Rainbow Six Siege, which is the unique abilities, the unique stuff, things like that. Except you don't have to play against other people,
right?
Which is the part I hate.
Do the infected teabag you after they get you down? That's a real question.
That's an unlock. It is a feature that you will find at level 40.
That's right. It's in the gameplay menu.
We did teabag a whole bunch of infected this week.
I mean, hey, they're not real people, so like the amount of stuff we do that in Destiny 2 to like PvE enemies is pretty high. I'm not doing it to another human because I feel like that's bad. But this isn't Xbox Live on the 360. Like,
true. Well, I don't know. Destiny might be. You still don't know what's behind the scenes in that game.
It's true. It's true.
No, we do it all the time to the NPCs, especially when you have to capture them and you lure them to the extraction point and then stasis from them. So, and because it's Rainbow Six Siege controls, you do that and you do the side-by-side wiggle at the same time, because why wouldn't you do it?
That's right.
Do the little bob. Well, and my favorite thing, it's procedurally generated. So it's 3 random objectives in 3 random orders throughout these maps.
Yeah.
And so far, I've been on 6 different maps, and there's like 12 more to do.
That's great.
Nice.
Like, it's ridiculous and fun and stupid.
And it's on Game Pass.
And it's on Game Pass, and at no point when we played it this week, it has been patched like 4 times. So, number one, thanks for resetting everybody of my characters back to default loadouts, by the way.
Boy.
The people with the shotguns had the shotguns again. It's like, no, I worked hard to unlock the assault rifle. Thank you very much. So I will use the assault rifle. All of the skins got reset back to default. All of the cosmetics got reset back to default. I still had them. I just had to go and re-equip them. And it gave me the tutorial messages right off the bat again.
Oh boy!
And it turned on the assisted the menu reading option. So I'm trying to invite Rob into the game. Rob is talking to me, and
game
at the same
settings,
time,
party chat
to
settings.
Exactly.
X Brain Eater X party invite.
Yeah. Exactly. So that was a bit of a nightmare. But I don't know if it was just because we were both tired, if it was because we hadn't played in a while, or because we were using low-level characters on higher-level things. When it says you recommended operator level 3, it ain't playing around.
On 2, it'll be fine.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 and a 2 is going to cause you problems, to say the least.
Right.
But no, like, we had fun. We failed a couple of times, but we're also getting smarter about boogieing out the door when we know we're going to be in trouble. So, like, you know, well, I've got 2 health, you've got 5 health, and there's still 2 more maps to go. Shall we just get on the helicopter now?
HQ mission has turned spicy. Requesting evac.
100%.
Yep.
So, you know, we're getting better about that. There is one mission type in there, which is, hey, go through this portal into the hell dimension and fight this thing.
Sorry?
I like how I suddenly got your attention with that.
And then you get the Doomslayer costume?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like...
Dude, don't do that, because now that song's going to be stuck in my head all day, dude. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to go play Forza Horizon 5 and try and unlock it.
So good.
Hate you so much. But no, like, literally that's one of the mission types, and we went in and we did it, and then we failed. So both of our guys got encased in that yellow goo in a hell dimension.
I thought you were going to say they're just like, well, they're trapped in hell. They just got removed from our game. Like, sorry.
We've done it before, and when we came out of the portal, they were like, holy crap, you came back alive. That's great. Like, thanks for that. Like,
yeah, thanks, I guess.
You're welcome. But that's a boss fight that's nasty, to say the least. On that thing, I think last time we barely scraped through, and this time we were so close, but then we just didn't make it in time. So now we've both got an MIA person, and I think this is something they patched in. But that MIA person, it says in your character select screen how much XP towards your like overall like milestone level each character has earned.
Oh no.
So now that person is MIA, it's deleted that amount from the overall milestones.
Oh, my heart.
And it's like, gee, thanks for
my
that.
little
That
buddy.
never happened before.
It trapped in E3M2 over there.
So that's fun. So next time we play, I guess we're gonna be going to, you know, rescue my level 2 dude and his level 7 dude.
Right.
Oops. And apparently, if you fail the mission, it deletes progress from the character.
Oh,
sweet.
So
turn on roguelike mode?
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna play that level on the easiest difficulty and do it.
Yeah.
Like, nice and simple.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's stupid. It's fun. It's everything I like about Rainbow Six Siege with everything I hate about Rainbow Six Siege, the people, taken away from it.
That's right. It's nothing but positives.
Exactly. Take out all of the microtransaction BS, and then everything will be fine.
Right.
I like it. It's fun. That's all I've been playing. Nim, tell me about your 99 gig problems.
Yeah, so speaking of not wanting to deal with other people, my son decided that he wanted to play Ark Survival Evolved.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because it is part of the March PlayStation Plus free games.
Right.
And this was the whole thing of me telling him, it's been on gold this entire time, and we could have played it before this at any given time, but whatever, that's fine. Go ahead.
The good news is you paid the right price for that piece of crap.
Yeah. Free.
Yeah.
So yeah, that thing is 99 gigs.
Wow.
So I did have to delete some stuff off of my PS5 to make that work.
Yeah.
Which luckily I had a bunch of stuff that I could have gotten rid of, so no problems there. But then I told my son too, it's like, all right, let's get this downloaded, and then let's look into how the servers work, because I know I played it on PC, because I got it for free from Epic. I have never once paid for this game. So,
nice.
but I was like, I know that there's some server stuff that we can do. Let's look into that and see what we can do about it. And for people who are interested, yes, there is one third-party server company that you can go to and pay. I think it was like $12 a month to have your own private server.
Oh, nice.
We are not doing that though.
Right.
But why?
Because I'm not paying for it. That's
because
why.
it's $12 a month.
Yeah. Well, and so the biggest thing was,
I hate that game specifically because they released a $60 DLC while it was still in early access. Like, get the hell away from me.
That was rough.
Well, and so the biggest thing is I don't have an issue with my son playing this game. I have my son playing. I have an issue with my son playing this game on a server with random people across the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So I told him, it's like, that is not happening. So the other option besides buying our own or renting our own server is we could do a what do they call it? I don't know. It was a non-dedicated server, I think it was. Which basically is that you save, someone creates the game, and then that world is saved on that system. And
so you're like running your own like in-house server,
kind of, like peer-to-peer server based.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Right. And it's only active as long as that person's logged in, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's not bad.
And I was like, all right, we could probably do that. But then I found out that there is tethering involved in this, that since the maps are so big, you can only be so far away from the host before it literally starts to pull you away from stuff.
I guess that makes sense.
Which has caused some issues. But the other option is have another PlayStation or Xbox or computer just running the game as the host.
Oh, so you're like running like a Minecraft server essentially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't play the game off of whatever, system's running that, but that will allow everyone else to go into that game, and then you don't have to worry about the tethering and all that.
Sure.
I could feasibly do that. I have a PlayStation launch, a PlayStation 4 launch, a PlayStation 4 Pro, and a PlayStation 5. I also have a PlayStation 3 if I freaking had to, but that just kind of seemed over, and it's like, screw it, we'll just go with the tethering. I don't care,
Right.
So, got everything set up. Game throws us in. My son and I just defaulted with whatever the random character was that they gave us.
Mm-hmm.
We also both did not choose a name for our characters, so both of us are just human. He is human 1 and I am human 2 because that's what it defaulted us to.
Oh, hello, human.
Yeah. And we started, figuring out the game because he's never played it before. So he's getting used to, okay, I can pick up rocks now. And then he's like, hang on, I'm dying of thirst. I'm like, well, we're right by the water. Just run into the water, hit triangle, you'll drink.
Right.
Figuring out that stuff. And then some dinosaur came out of nowhere and killed both of us. All right, this is expected.
It's Final Fantasy 12 all over again.
Yep. So it spawned my son back in that same location, and it spawned me on the other side of the world, which freaked the game out because then my character got flung towards him because I was outside of the tether range.
Right.
And you literally see your camera flying in between trees and stuff. Yeah, it was weird.
I love this like incredibly cursed experience you have with literally any like survival or open game. That's so good.
Beta testers right here, man.
That's right.
So after I get flung back into the acceptable range, that dinosaur was still there and promptly killed us both again. So then we finally got spawned to some other place on the map. I'm not entirely sure where. And from there we started again with, okay, you know, let's pick up rocks. Let's punch a bunch of trees to get some thatching and some wood. Oh, look, we can build stuff. But then it turned into an issue of, even though I am invited onto his quote unquote server, I cannot place anything down because I am too close to his stuff.
Oh God.
So anytime I go to put something down and it's anywhere near his, it says you're too close to an enemy structure or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God. So then I would just craft a bunch of stuff and then I would just give it to him and then he would place it down. But then I had figured out, it's like, okay, hey, there's like tribes in here, which is supposed to be like clans. Just quickly make one, invite me to it, I'll accept it, and that should allow me to start putting stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. It worked out fine. Until the next day, we come back to this game, and it won't let me put stuff down anymore, and I'm no longer a part of his tribe anymore. He doesn't have an active tribe anymore. So we're like, all right, let's do this again. He invites me to his tribe again. I accept it. I still can't put anything down. It still doesn't work. And I'm like, you know what? Here's Incredible. Like 6 crates that I just made. Put these down somewhere, and anytime I do anything, I'll just shove it into a crate, and then you can put it down wherever you want. I don't care anymore at this point.
Yeah, that's an awful lot like No Man's Sky is what I'm hearing right there.
Honestly, though, we didn't have, like, with building, like the world that my son and my daughter and I are hollowing out, we didn't have any issues with building anything next to each other. Like, we could put stuff on top of each other, no problem.
Yeah, because you're like in the same.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, No Man's Sky, I feel like is better about recognizing, like, you guys are in a party together, like, you're in the game together. Just put down whatever you want. Like, don't get close to another player's structures that you're, like, not a party of, but yeah, go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like that's also how I can tell you guys are playing a survival game, because you refer to hollowing out the planet, and it's like, yeah, that's my style.
Gotta get those materials.
The thing that No Man's Sky does too is that when someone puts down a base camp, like Boston was saying, if you're part of that person's party, you can do whatever in that base camp. But if you are not part of that party, the game won't even let you build anything in that area.
Yeah.
So whereas here, it's just like, you're not the host, you can't do anything. Right here. I mean, if I had moved further down, I'm sure I could have built something, but that's just stupid.
Well,
so,
you don't want it to tether you back anyway, because you'd be like, hey man, like where are you going, buddy? Yoink.
Which is something that happened because we had gotten to the point where we had like 8 chests and we just had crap everywhere. I'm like, all right, we need to like consolidate and start putting materials.
Pick your toys
in,
up
chests.
off the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So my son's like, well, you're the one there right now. Why don't you do it? I'm like, fine, I will do it.
Swear to God.
So I'm in the middle of like moving all this, and I'm up on like the 2nd story on where these chests are at.
I'll just do it by myself up here on the 2nd floor. Don't worry about it.
All of a sudden, my character gets flung towards the wall behind me, falls down, goes through a window. And I'm like, hey, you need to stop moving. You're pulling me out of the house. And he's like, what? And I'm like,
your face is like dragging on the wall.
So he had to run back so I could get back into the house and finish sorting stuff. But
oh my God.
It's just really, really weird.
Oh God.
The one thing that I did find that was funny is when you do stuff, anything that you do in this game, you accumulate experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there looking at my inventory doing something, and I was noticing that just being there, I was earning 0.1 experience every second, it seemed like. So I was like, oh, cool. So I'm earning experience just for surviving.
Just for living. God, these participation trophies are giving these millennial gamers. Sheesh.
Pretty much. But yeah, my son really likes it. I had also had told him, it's like, hey, when we leave the game, or whenever you turn it back on and I'm not there, my character's body will be there, but obviously I'm not there. And that's kind of the reason why I didn't want him playing with other people, because as long as that server is active, whoever's in there can do whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, he could spend all this time building up all this stuff, and all it takes is some dude who sees it, or woman, whatever, and just like tears it all back down, and then he logs back in, and all of his crap's just gone.
Yeah,
so,
that doesn't feel good for anybody.
Yeah, and I think there was something about if you locked like the door of whatever building you make, they can't get into it or something like that. I don't know. I am not an ARC player. I don't care.
Right.
But he's enjoying it. I mostly just come in as support, where it's like, hey, what are you trying to do? You're building a furnace? Cool. Let me go chop a bunch of metal or some rocks and get metal for you, so that way you can smith it and make a stone axe or something.
Right.
Whatever. I don't care. I'm just there so that he can have fun.
Right.
But moving on from that game, because I have no vested interest in that game.
Yeah.
A game that I do have vested interest in is Elden Ring. Still.
Yes.
So the last time I talked about this game, I was 10 hours in, level 25.
No, you're 76 hours in.
No.
Somehow.
I did not have that much time. I had a lot, though. But I am 36 hours in at level 65.
Oh, nice.
So that's with not a whole lot of grinding. That's just me exploring and doing random crap. I beat, so in, what do they call it, Stormvale Castle or whatever, I beat Margaret, which then allowed me to go into the castle proper and start exploring. And that's when I started running into good old Dark Souls jankiness, where the physics will never be okay with these games ever.
No.
And I'm fine with that. But
you've come to terms with it.
Yeah. One issue that I had is I think they were called Banished Knights. They're like these tall guys, and they have different weapons depending, but they have nice looking armor, and I'd happened to kill one and got his gauntlets. I'm like, cool. I can get his armor. I'm going to eventually farm these guys. Right. Well, as I kept exploring into the castle, I found a tower that had one of those knights in it, and then like a stairwell going around the inside the tower, but along the outside walls. On the inside, it would, circular up to the next level. Cool. So what I started doing was, and then in the middle there was like a pit for like an elevator to go up and down, but there wasn't an elevator. So if any of us fell into it, which I made him do a couple times, it's instant death. And then for people who don't know, if a body gets kicked off a cliff or is inaccessible, and you know that there was loot, or even if there wasn't loot and you want to check, all you have to do, quit the game, load back into it. It will load you right back to that exact same spot, and that body will be somewhere where you can get to it now.
Oh, interesting.
So if it had loot when it died before you had quit the game, the body will be there with loot.
Oh, that's really nice.
So that's something that's been in there since, I think you could have done that in Demon Souls, I'm pretty sure. Wow. So that's something that's always been in there that not a whole lot of people know about. But anyway, so I'm fighting this Banished Knight who has a halberd, and I spend probably like a good 2.5 hours fighting this thing. And it's not a constant fight. It's just I kill it. It doesn't drop anything. I go back to a grace, which happened to be on the next level up. So it's like, all right, sit at this grace, respawn everything, go downstairs, fight him again, didn't drop it, and just keep doing this for 2.5 hours. Didn't get all of his crap until I finally did.
Right.
But it's annoying. The drops, I don't know if they just made it like the drop rate a lot lower than normal, or if just this particular enemy had a low drop rate or what. But I got so much of the same. Like I have like 4 of his halberds. I've got like 2 of his helmets, 3 of his greaves, 4 gauntlets, and all I was missing was just the freaking body armor. That's all I needed. But
that's giving me PTSD flashbacks of Destiny, to be completely honest.
Yeah. There you go.
But to get back to how this game is janky is, while I was fighting him, I would usually go halfway down the steps, and this is when I started messing with faith magic, so I could conjure a fireball, throw it at him, and then he would run up the stairs, and as he's running up the stairs, I would charge up another fireball and just keep throwing it at him until he got too close to me, and then I would run upstairs and fight him, because usually by that point I was out of magic anyway. This knight has an Ash of War where it will create basically like a whirlwind around it, and then it will lunge at you. And the lunge is already like stupid long, but the biggest issue with the physics in this stupid game, all Souls games, is that he would be at the bottom of the steps. He would do that lunge, and instead of falling off the steps because he's looking at me at an incorrect angle, that MFer would grind all the way up that rail, all the way up to the second floor, and still hit me with that stupid attack.
He's got some Tokyo drift, like, skew.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. So then I'd have to worry about that, because he obviously jumps high enough, and you can jump over the rail. I've done it several times to like do like a downward stab at him and stuff like that. So you can get over that rail. There's not an invisible wall. It's just the physics is being wonky.
This knight is drifting. No.
Got so annoyed by that guy. And then that's when I had also found out that for some reason, not all of your souls get returned to you in that area when you die.
Oh, interesting.
So now all of a sudden I go from, it's like, okay, I dropped 8,000 ruins. I dropped 8,000 ruins. I went and killed the guy, got my blood, got my ruins back, and there's only like 5,000 here, or there's only 1,000 here. Like, what's going on with that? Yeah. Figured that out later. But anyway, so after grinding this guy forever, getting all of his armor, like, cool, let's keep on exploring this area now. I then run into the next area that everyone hates, and it's literally just out the door from the grace that I had been at this entire time, where you see these birds sitting here. Like, all right, yeah, that doesn't look conspicuous at all, especially since there's a ton of barrels everywhere, and they just have a slight tinge of red to them. I wonder what's going to happen.
Interesting.
Sure enough, these birds will grab these stupid barrels, and they will throw them at you. And they explode. Yeah.
Great.
If they don't knock you off of the platform that you are on because of the explosion and cause instant death, these birds also have like 4-foot long blades on each of their talons.
Naturally, yeah.
Of course.
It's a classic.
So, I didn't die to them that often. I did find their bigger brother further along that also spits fire.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Chief of the Blade Birds.
Yeah, and I'm at the point where I'm walking on like these little ledges. Like, I'm Assassin's Creeding this crap, where it's like, here's a ledge. Okay, I can jump to this other ledge on this other tower, and then I can get into that tower, drop down. Okay, there's a body with an item of it on the other side of the roof, so there's got to be something else, because it's drawing my attention to that specifically. So there's got to be like 15 guys somewhere that I can't see.
Yep.
And yeah, that whole castle, screw that castle. I finally did find the second boss in that area. Fought him, got my butt handed to me for a little bit. Like, all right, cool. I'm just going to go back to exploring. No issue whatsoever. I'm just going to take a short break. During this short break, Justin and I from the Tiltcast were just talking back and forth because he's playing it on PC. So we just go into voice chat and Discord, and we're just talking shop, swapping information, things that we found. There's some items that he and I were talking about for, like, hey, have you done this? This is where you can find it. Or have you found this quest that lets you do this yet? It was like helping him with that. And then he gave me a location. One of the places that you get transported to at some point by chest. There are certain enemies in that area that you can grind, and they give you like 1,000 ruins per kill.
Oh, wow.
The problem is they just need to hit you once and you're dead. So it's kind of like this weird, yeah. So I spent probably about an hour grinding in that area because I was like, okay, well, I just want to get one more level so I can increase, my strength stat real quick. I just want to bring that up one more. And then I realized after I killed the second one that, it gave me a piece of armor. Oh, no. It gave me a weapon. I'm like,
oh, no.
Guess I'm grinding these guys out until I get the full set.
That's right.
So,
I'm back here again.
Yeah, spent a couple hours grinding them out. Finally got all their equipment. went back to the castle, go to fight, who was it? Godric again, the second boss. And he just stomps on me again. And I'm like, well, I got him down to half health that time. And he has a second phase. So once you get him down to half health, cinematics start.
Unlimited
and the fight
power.
starts again. Yeah, exactly. And I got him down a little bit further than that, but then he just straight up killed me. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I need to learn this new strategy.
Right.
And on a whim, I just chose to use the jellyfish the next time as my summon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, people go back and forth on what they like. Some people like the skeletons. You can summon 2 of them.
Nice.
And when they die, they don't actually die yet. They have a chance to reform and come back with full health as long as something doesn't hit them again.
Oh, okay.
It's just like how the actual skeletons in the game work, where you keep hitting them until their health goes away. They drop down to the ground. You have to hit them one more time before they reconstruct themselves, or as they come back with full health.
Oh, okay.
It's just the exact same mechanic. So I tried using them, and we got further, but
we did all right.
Yeah. So then I tried it with the pack of wolves, which is usually my default. We got a little further. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to do it with the jellyfish just for S and giggles, because that one, the jellyfish's range, it shoots like ink or something. And I'm like, that'll be nice. It can do its range thing. I will keep it focused on me, so that way it can just keep attacking me while the jellyfish is doing its 12 points of damage or whatever.
Right.
Things went horribly wrong during the second phase. Mistakes were made. But then I realized after the jellyfish had died, RIP, that the jellyfish had managed to poison the boss.
Oh, hello.
So, and I only noticed this because I was trying to roll away from the boss so that I could heal, and all of a sudden I noticed that its damage ticker is still going up, and I'm not doing anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. And this is a pretty big area with a lot of gravestones in it. So I just backed way up and let the magic do its thing for a bit.
Yeah.
And then, just as it was about to die, I rushed him, got the final stab in. I'm like, yeah, this is for that Banished Knight, you bastard.
That's right. Take that.
So I killed him finally. Which they now, since he is I guess like a story boss, they drop a thing that's called a resemblance. Something. It started with an R. I can't remember off the top of my head because I just got it and haven't messed with it yet. Maybe it's Remembrance. Either way, it's basically a boss soul from like the previous Soul games.
Oh, okay. So it's like
now
a big thing.
Yeah. So now there's another area that has opened up to me that I can bring this thing to, and this person can make me a boss weapon. I can either have an axe or I can have like fisticuffs that turns one of my arms into a dragon.
That's an easy choice. Come on.
Wait, hold on.
I want a dragon arm.
Tell me you went for the dragon hands.
I haven't done anything yet because I just recently discovered that there are mausoleums in the game that you can duplicate a boss soul with.
Oh, so you can have the best of both.
So I can get the axe and the dragon fist.
The dragon hand can hold the axe. All right, now we're talking. Yeah.
So
it's a gun and a blade. It's cool.
Yes. So I am waiting. I have found one of the mausoleums, but I'm just kind of waiting because I'm like, well, this was just the first boss, so maybe just wait until I fight another boss and kind of see what that turns into. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of weighing my options right now, and all the stats. If I'm remembering correctly, because it's been a little bit since I've looked at them, I think the stats for me to be able to use the weapons properly, I have to have, for like the axe, I think it was like 40 strength and like 25 faith or something like that, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but those are like kind of higher end of game.
Yeah.
Like my strength is currently 30.
Right.
So it's going to take a little bit before I can even use those anyway, so I'm not in a big rush.
Yeah.
But now I have moved into the next area past the castle, which was like this whole swamp area that all kinds of horrible things are happening in.
There it is.
You said swamp area, and it's a Souls game, so yes.
Yeah, so it's a nightmare.
I have made it into the school that is in that area. I don't know where in the school I am, because there's a lot of moving stuff. So my note literally just says, now I'm somewhere in the schoolhouse, ?
I'm in a school of nightmares?
Mm-hmm. Everyone casts magic, which kind of sucks because I'm kind of mostly a melee person. I mean, I have faith spells with the fireball and all that, but that's not my main damage. And then I ran into these weird four-armed things that have a sword in each arm, and they spaz out. Like, when I say spaz out, I want you to think of, like, Valdor from Soul Calibur spazzes out.
They're like upside down and backwards and skittering around.
They literally get on the ground and like thrash about while swinging their sword arms and stuff.
Oh boy, it's like a Castlevania enemy. What the heck?
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. And if you get too far away, their two upper arms will throw fire pots at you. Jeez. So they kind of got their combat figured out.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I also just fought like this weird golem thing. Managed to kill it, and it gave me gravity magic, and then I took a water windmill up to like a next level that was pretty high up and found another grace, and now that's like all the sorcerers have like these weird stone masks on, and they look like the Burger King mascot. Like legitimately, you should look these guys up. Because a lot of people have made like Sneak King builds when they get these masks.
That's great.
But yeah, that's where I'm at Elden Ring. I have no clue where I'm at right now. So
yeah.
Having a lot of fun, really enjoying it. I want to try to beat this game at some point.
Right.
I know we're only a week out since it's released, and there's already people who are on like their 4th or 5th runs at this point.
I saw like one of the a streamer I really like, Northern Lion. He plays like a lot of Binding of Isaac, but he really likes the From Software games. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at his stream the other day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm playing Elden Ring, new game, plus. And I was just like, man, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry I have a life and other obligations to do.
Yeah.
And I would really, really love to be there, but I can't. So my goal is to hopefully beat this game by April at the latest, maybe. The first time.
our production roadmap is on a great we're the estimated deliverables at the end of April. So we're on track. We're doing great.
So I'm getting there.
Yeah.
But I really love this game.
Yeah.
It's really hit me at just the right time. Nice. Which really sucks too, because I also had Pharaoh ask me, he's like, "Hey, did you start playing Triangle Strategy yet?" I'm like, "No." It's on the list of things, but it ain't there yet.
It's in the queue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing this week.
I got quick updates for 3 games this week. Very short update for Destiny 2. The world's first race happened for the brand new raid. There were issues.
Shocker.
The team it was a real bummer because like Witch Queen's release went really well, and there weren't really any issues, but the raid release was pretty rough for some strange reason. The same team that won the last World's First did it again this time. The team I was rooting for, Dado's team, was in second place by only 3 minutes. So it was a very, very close race this time.
I really enjoy that this has turned into like a legitimate thing with people rooting for specific groups.
Well, yeah, we were talking about it in the Discord server. I was like, this is like my playoffs for Destiny. I'm like watching 3 or 4 streams at once. I'm like watching a Discord. Like I've got a subreddit open. Like it was a good couple hours. It was fun.
Destiny March Madness.
Yeah, exactly. So as a result, after the first team clears it, the world changes. As a result, like it did for the last 2 expansions. Now we got a whole bunch of other cool stuff that got unlocked. So there's a little bit more stuff to do in the Throne World now, which is kind of nice. I downloaded Puzzle Quest 3.
Oh no.
This is.
So I saw you and Mackie talking about it.
Yeah,
no. I was gonna say, was Mackie involved in this at some point?
No, I think we downloaded it at the same time. I am trying to go into Puzzle Quest 3 with an open mind, sort of recognizing I loved Puzzle Quest 1 and 2, kind of for different reasons. I loved Marvel Puzzle Quest for for it being kind of like, I think, kind of best of breed in the kind of match 3. Yeah, like free to play match 3. Like it's a great game. I didn't like, like Galactrix or whatever they made. Like some of the other games they've tried to make where they try to spin the match 3 a little bit and like try and put a little twist on it. That stuff really doesn't click with me. So Puzzle Quest 3 sort of is rough in that regard, because the tutorial very quickly shows you that it's a very different game in 2 seemingly minor ways that I think is kind of pushing me away really early. I want to get back to it and put some time into it just to see how I feel. But the very first thing you can do is you can match gems diagonally. You're not just moving in the cardinal directions, you can also move diagonally. Not that big of a deal. It feels a little bit weird, but it doesn't feel like something like Galactrix where you're like moving on like a
you're spinning a hex or something.
Yeah, like some of that stuff is that's not this game's problem. This game's problem is it's a different turn-based game before. So in like Puzzle Quest 1 and 2, you would make your match, all the gems would fall where they fall, you're done. Then your enemy would take your turn, they'd get like 15 different lucky turns, they'd whomp you, you'd take your turn. In this one, you have a timer for your turn, and you need to make as many matches as you can as that timer counts down.
Interesting.
So, on paper, it doesn't sound that bad, but trying to like rewire your brain to not just do that one good match, you're like, yeah, I'm done. Oh no, I gotta do more. So, like it's not inherently bad, but it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of just wanted Puzzle Quest 3, which is you're fighting a pile of rats. Take your turn. It's like, all right, I got 5 on that one. That one was good. And then it's like the pile of rats gets 15. Great. All right. Ooh, I matched 3 skulls. I did some direct damage. Great. So it's not inherently bad. You still start with like a class system at the beginning. I picked Necromancer, I think, because those are usually pretty cool in RPGs. I like having an army of the undead, which I'm assuming is going to happen in this at some point. And it gives you a chance to kind of inspect all of the classes when you start, so there's no surprise. It definitely is free to play though, because there's like a currencies button, and when you open that up, like this big window slides down that you can scroll for a considerable amount, and it's like, here's keys and gems and treasure chests and scrolls and these things, and I was just like, ugh, okay, cool. I don't fault you for being a free to play game, but maybe that's not necessarily what I'm looking for. But I haven't spent that much time into it, so I'm not gonna try not to judge it for being that different, kind of out of hand. But it's not something that I'm like racing to get back to. Where it's like, oh, I got 5 minutes. I gotta play another level. So we'll see. I gotta get back to it. Also started another new game this week. I started Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh
boy.
I wanted to get back to Horizon Forbidden West, but the next mission I have is supposed to be kind of a longer one, and that you kind of can't like take a break in the middle of. And I was like, all right, well, I'll pop in Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been meaning to get to this for a couple of months now. The further we get away from the end of 2021, the more people are coming out being like, hey, I just played Guardians of the Galaxy. It's legitimately really good.
Yeah, I keep hearing people talking about this, and it's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, and I had
Game Pass.
Yeah, it's coming to Game Pass soon too. I'm playing it on PS5 because I bought it for like $30 a couple of months ago or something. I also got it wrong like last week or a couple weeks ago. It's not the Tomb Raider team that made it; it's the Deus Ex team. So,
okay.
even more reason to sort of be like, yeah, maybe I should probably check this out. I played probably about an hour and a half all told, I think. I think I'm about halfway through the first mission. It starts off as some Guardians things do in the 80s. You can kind of explore Peter Quill's bedroom and kind of listen to this Star-Lord tape he's listening to, which is actually pretty good. And you like you can spend a little bit of time in there or a bunch of time kind of poking around his room and inspecting a bunch of stuff. You open the door and it plops you right on the Milano. And I feel like it has a surprisingly strong first couple of minutes. Because Peter wakes up on the Milano, he like picks up his guns, and then it lets you just explore the ship. And they do this thing that I feel like not a lot of games manage to capture very well, is that it feels like this whole crew is living in this ship. And like each one of their quarters has some stuff about them. They're all kind of ribbing each other. The game really early on says that Gamora and Drax just joined the crew like maybe a couple of months ago. So they're kind of settling into being a 5-person crew as opposed to a 3-person. Rocket and Groot are talking to each other the entire time you're kind of wandering around the ship. They're like working on something. So it kind of feels neat to just wander around and talk to people and just kind of tool around this ship and kind of inspect it, as opposed to just being like, yeah, it's the ship, whatever, like just go to the next mission. So you go in the first mission. It at the very beginning, and I'm again not judging this that harshly based on, you know, just the opening mission. It feels like a pretty standard kind of action platformer shooter, like a third-person shooter thing. You have a lock on, you're shooting with the 2 pistols. It feels really good. They introduced the kind of 2 team mechanics really early on. The early examples they give you are your teammates can help you in battle and out of battle. So like the very first time you need Groot's help, there's this big chasm in front of you that you can't jump over.
I was about to ask, is there going to be like a technical check or?
Yeah, no. Well, it's kind of neat because Groot will extend a whole bunch of branches to make a bridge, and then you can just cross those branches and then keep going on your way. Like it's nothing super at this point. It's not like super duper puzzly, but it's kind of interesting. And then Groot in battle, when you use his ability, he locks down enemies in a range. Like some branches come up and they grab them, and then you can just kind of shoot them without them coming at you. So that stuff has felt pretty good. You're largely fighting tutorial enemies, which are these like green or purple rolling balls that kind of come up to you and like gently smack you. So it's been kind of fun. The thing that has surprised me the most, though, is when you're going to do the mission, you're making a couple of dialogue decisions. And it's really just like a left option, a right option, or the bottom option, which is just don't say anything. And it's the typical stuff where it's each one of the options has like 3 or 4 words about what you're going to say. The thing I was kind of surprised by is you're making those dialogue decisions while you're exploring and platforming. And I thought that would be really weird, but it actually feels pretty interesting because you're hitting, I don't even remember what button, like I think one of the R2 or L2. And then it pops up that same interface, but while you're wandering around, like L1 is the left choice, R1 is the right choice, and then circle is the kind of stay quiet choice. And at some point, you and Rocket get separated from Groot, and you guys are just kind of like ribbing each other a little bit, but you can tell Rocket is kind of worried about his big tree buddy. and I got down this dialogue tree where Rocket spent like 2 or 3 minutes talking about how he was created, and the game didn't really prompt that. I just kind of navigated the tree to get to the point where he talked about that. So it's pretty promising, pretty early on. It looks incredible too. Like they did a real disservice to this game in the initial showings of it for like a whole host of reasons.
Yep.
But this game looks way, way better than that initial stuff did. And I'm playing it on performance mode to get the 60 frames. There's resolution, performance, and then ray tracing. And ray tracing, it's not 60. I don't think it's 30 frames, but I gotta have those 60 frames.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And it's weird because it's not like Ratchet and Clank had a 40 frames per second mode that if you have a 120 hertz TV, it kind of paired nicely with that. This doesn't have that in it, so I'm just doing performance, and it looks really great, and it's super smooth at 60. I'm kind of excited to keep playing it, which is wild as the person who was really tired of this game after the 35 minutes Square used to show it on E3, what was it, 2020, I think it was, in like one of the weirdest press conference moments I've seen in a while.
Yep.
But so far, we'll go.
Your opinion on this game has been the thing that I've been waiting for, because you were that guy that I would bring this game up and you would physically wince whenever I brought it up.
Gagging.
And now that you're just like, it's been pretty fun, it's pretty chill, I'm enjoying it, looks good. It's like,
and
all right.
It's sort of a bummer because like it's nice to play this because like Rocket and Groot are gonna kind of look the same no matter where they're gonna be. Yeah. Gamora and Drax both look significantly different from the movies, which is kind of exactly what I want. I don't want this to be Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie, the video game. Like I don't want this to be like Chris Pratt and his friends. I want this to be someone different. Like Drax still kind of acts like Drax, but that's kind of how the character is. It's not like, oh, I'm Batista, it's kind of a nice take on it from the comics as opposed to here's a movie tie-in game. And they should have just said like, yo, did you like Deus Ex? It's these guys. And I would have been like, yes, great, cool. Sure, I'll play that. And also I'm kind of looking forward to just, I like Horizon Forbidden West a lot, but that's an open world game, and I'm kind of looking forward to this game kind of being a more focused thing. Like it's kind of, it's not like a corridor shooter or anything, but it certainly isn't an open world game. So I'm kind of clicking with that a little bit. But that's all I'm playing this week. Let's take a break.
Yep.
Sun is 1000% in my eyes. I can't stop punching my mic today, too. Like, I'm just having a day over here, man. Sheesh. I'm glad I didn't put any news stories in the show because, wouldn't you know it, we're recording a lot. I know you guys are shocked.
No news.
No, there really isn't. It's just one of those weeks where, like, nothing is... Kotaku was on strike all week, so like it's usually one of my primary news sources.
I was gonna say, I think the biggest news was the fact that Nintendo dropped support for all Russian players, and
so many companies have kind of done that in rapid succession, like EA and Ubisoft and someone else big has done it. So yeah, that's okay. We'll just we'll Faeror has been asking us a question in chat that we haven't been able to get to for a couple weeks, so we'll do it this week. An episode 750 celebration.
Woo!
Yeah. Remix. All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Ready. Come on.
Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. let's talk releases for the week of March 7th, 2022. RPG Time: The Legend of Wright comes out on Xbox One, Series consoles, PC, iOS, and Android. If you haven't seen this, it's a very cool RPG with a really neat style where it looks like a kid is drawing this game kind of in their notebook and on their desk in their books at school. It's kind of a neat style we don't typically see that often. And it looks kind of a cool thing. Like I'm excited to see what reviews are gonna land on this one. This looks like it could be kind of a fun little RPG. Next up is Ashwalkers, out on the Switch. It's already been out on PC for a while. Kind of a super grim survival adventure dialogue tree thing. Has a really cool, kind of neat art style. Seems like it's kind of one of those difficult survival choices ones where it's like, you only got so much, food and guns and stuff. So what hard choices are you gonna make? Looks kind of neat. If that's your jam. On the other end of the spectrum, Chocobo GP from Square Enix comes out on the Switch. If you wanted a Final Fantasy Mario Kart game, you got it.
My son is super excited about this.
Yeah, this thing looks pretty wild. I think I was pretty suspicious of this game when it was announced, because I don't think the last one was that super great, but all the previews for this seem like they might have gotten it this time. So
they got the golden saucer in there.
How can you go wrong? That same 15 seconds of song just looping forever.
Dude, if that was in there and you couldn't change it, that would be the funniest thing ever.
So good. Young Souls comes out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. This is a cool side-scrolling beat-em-up RPG, like a light RPG kind of thing. Looks like it has some cool co-op support. And it sort of reminds me of some of the like Xbox Live Arcade stuff that we really clicked with, like Castle Crashers and stuff like that. Like, it just kind of looks like that. It's not like probably not the most technically minded game out there, but it looks like it's, me and my friends are just kind of smack the snot out of some orcs and stuff here. So it looks cool.
It's also Game Pass day and date.
Yes, nice. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, WWE 2K22 comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, Series consoles, and PC. Man, I haven't seen anything about this yet, which means either reviewers don't have copies of it, or the embargo is up, or shockingly, it might be good. That last one's
reviewers probably don't have copies of it, would be my guess.
Yeah. That last option is probably not the one that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I would love this game to be good, because there are, I don't think, any good wrestling games out at the moment. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I had to immediately go and Google the roster for this version of the game.
Yes.
Was it like 10 people?
No, it's huge, but
okay.
Asuka no longer with the company, as far as I know. Cesaro no longer with the company, probably going to be showing up at AEW at any point soon.
Right. This game's already coming in hot. Super good.
Yeah. A whole bunch of people who are retired and legends and stuff like that.
I would say, so this is like the Legacy Edition or something.
No, man. Yeah, it's a real bummer they kind of can't get this game together. I'd love for this to be the year that it happens, but
Keith Lee is in the game, who literally debuted at AEW like 2 weeks ago.
Great.
Nice.
So good. So even if this game is bad, usually we get a bunch of cool GIFs and clips of it. So I guess watch Twitter over the next couple of weeks. We don't really have any news stories this week. I tried to find a bunch of stuff, and like Kotaku was on strike, so that's usually the kind of one of the primary sources I go through, and just not a lot of stuff happened this week.
Steam Decks are coming out in the wild.
Yeah, Gabe Newell delivered a bunch of Steam Decks in person to Seattle, so that was a fun video. He sadly didn't get hired at the delivery company. He didn't do so well. So don't quit your day job. But Feyroar Reigns in chat has been asking us a question for a couple of weeks, and we haven't had time to answer it yet. So we'll answer it now. Essence of the question is, where did your screen names come from? And we haven't answered this in. Well, I think we've done this maybe once or twice in the past, but it's probably been a couple of years. So let's start with you, Moon.
People used to insult me in my high school with a variation of my current handle because I went to a high school full of idiots.
Yes, also known as high school.
Yes.
Not holding that grudge any longer, huh?
I know what you did, James.
I went to the high school where every kid who got expelled from the other high schools went to.
Right.
I did too.
Yeah.
So I was clever and I knew the answers, so people started giving me nicknames to insult me because I was clever.
Right.
When I moved to college, which is 16, 17 in England, not 19,
university.
20 is over here.
Right.
So when I went to college and got access to the internet for the very first time, I needed a handle. So I took my name calling handle and turned it into my handle because screw it. If you're going to make fun of me, I'm going to take it and make it my own. So I did. And then that slowly but surely transitioned and changed and got tweaked and things like that until it became what it is today.
Nice. Nimp, how about you?
I too went to HVAC Rainbow Academy. That's not any shade for any HVACs.
No, the trades are important. You should go into the trades. They're
not
great.
even that. You can make decent money working that stuff.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you can make some good money.
Mine was because my sister and I, probably elementary school maybe, like towards the end of elementary school, we would always just make up names, and mine was because one day she was being super annoying in the car, and being the nerd that I apparently am, she reminded me a lot of an imp from D&D. And I thought, what would be more annoying than an imp? Well, obviously, the next evolution of an imp, you just throw an N in front of the name, and now you have a nymph. So
Right.
That was my childish thing. And then, obviously, we grew up, and for some reason, that name just stuck with me. And I thought, well, what would be the most fun, dumbest thing to do is just to call myself the nymph, being the most annoying thing out there.
Right.
So yeah, that's how my name came about.
I guess I have two, since I'm sort of known as Jansen and Boston online. Jansen is probably the least interesting, the less interesting of the two. When I started playing World of Warcraft, I think I had my main character, and I was going to start another character, and they're like, all right, enter your name. And I'm just hitting the random button, like that's going to give me a name that nobody else has picked. And I landed on Jansen, and they were like, that name's already been taken. I was like, Jansten? And the game was like, yep, there you go. Let's go. I was like, oh, all right, that was actually kind of accidentally a cool name. All right, I'll take it. Not to be confused with Jansen, the award-winning electronic... DJ. Yeah, the award-winning electronic musician, who's also very nice. We have spoken on Twitter a couple of times of LOL, someone is waiting to see me.
Again.
Yeah, LOL. I usually get a bunch of tweets where it's like, oh man, I can't wait to see Jansen tonight in Las Vegas. And I'm like, man, I'm in bed already. You're looking for the other one.
Like, not even 3 weeks ago, I think I sent you a message on Twitter and was like, hey, Boston, is that who I think it is? Because he's playing in my town.
Yep, that's him. That's him. That's my doppelganger. Yeah.
One of these days, we're just going to go to his show. It's like, hey, we're the guy, or we know the guy that you keep getting confused for on Twitter.
Yeah, he told me, if you're coming to one of my shows, let me know. I'll meet you backstage. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun. Let's take a picture together. It's us. It's the two of us. So for Boston, we were sitting around in high school I think we were at Denny's because that's probably a pretty good chance in high school. And we're giving each other stupid nicknames that were kind of random. And the one that I was randomly given was Boston. And I was like, yeah, all right, that's weird. And when I got to college, I had a really big kind of floor that I lived on in the freshman dorms. And there were
how many people shared your name?
4 or 5 other people. So I was like, well, I'm going to call myself Boston. This is going to be stupid. And it immediately stuck in like a way that I could not give up. And I was like, well, all right, that's my nickname now. That's fine.
How it always is with nicknames.
Yeah. I think
it's also like, one of the reasons like why I go by my actual handle most of the times is because I am a Paul. And
right.
Of my generation, there are millions of us.
Yeah, I'm a millennial named Michael. So like that's literally like half of all U.S. men born in the 80s. Like it's just so I think it was a combination of like the name being weird enough and being so far off from my actual name, and then when people are like, well, obviously in college people are from all over the world. And people are like, "Oh, well, were you born in Boston?" I was like, "No, I've actually never been there." And I'm like, "That's
no
dumb."
affiliation whatsoever.
Yeah, like I've never. It seems like a nice town, but I've never been there. And I'm like, that's stupid. All right, see you later. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. So that's stuck. You gotta. And I've always been a big fan of like on podcasts. If you're not like an IT professional who's like well known for security testing, it's fun to go by like kind of a nickname or a handle or something, especially in games. Like we all have nowadays, especially we all have our gamer tags and we all have like our PSN names and our Steam names and stuff. Like it's kind of fun to go by that stuff. And then every once in a while we get cool questions like this about the history of stuff. So,
I mean, pretty much everybody refers to me by my actual handle. Almost nobody. In a professional setting, people call me my real name. In a personal setting, 90% of people call me by my handle.
Yeah,
that's how you get to know people. It's like professional wrestlers. They always refer to the other wrestler as the first time they met them, what their wrestling name was.
Right. Yeah, my daughter asks me when I come down, she's like, how is Nimp and Mr. Moon? It's like, they're doing great. We recorded a good episode.
That's how my wife and kids are. I'm like, yeah, I was talking to Paul for a little bit. My wife's like, who's Paul? I'm like, Moon.
Right. Do you work with him? It's like, yeah, I do. It's Moon. Yeah.
I'm trying to humanize you guys, and they're like, no, we don't know who that is.
Use their nerd names, nerd. It's like, okay, fine.
It also helps for me that, like, being a lifelong insomniac who spends most of my awake times during the nighttime.
Right.
Like, it helps that my handle is also the thing that comes out at night.
Right. All right, well, that's all our questions for this week. Thank you very much, Feyre, for sending that in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including the link to the Discord server. Go hang out with us over there. Chat with us about everything, or Destiny, or Wordle and its clones. Moon turned me on to Heardle this week, which is a Name That Tune clone, which I am way into. It's a lot of fun playing for like maybe a minute every day and being like, no, I didn't know that song. Or the one yesterday, which was immediately knew that song in the first like 2 or 3 times the drumstick hit the drum. It's like, yes, it's that song. So that's been good. You can also go find us over at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones are numbers.
Talked about all the cool stuff you get at the top of the show. Your financial support helps me so much by paying for the show. If you're interested in sort of all the budget breakdown, all of that stuff is on the Patreon page. And you get us a little bit closer to the $250 goal that we have per month, where I get to play some spoopy games, as the internet used to call it. And if you can't support us financially, totally understand. How you can support us best is rating this show 5 stars wherever you listen to it, but especially not only for this show, but for any like YouTuber or streamer or podcast you listen to. Tell your friends, share it on social media. That stuff helps every show so much. It makes such a marked improvement, and it really, really does help things. I know every content creator that you share appreciates it very much, including all three of us. So thank you very much. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Excuse me. Ah, my throat's real raw today. All right, Nim. What are your titles this week?
All right, I have hashtag content. Keep this podcast blue. Hitman 1 version Hitman 2.
That's pretty good.
The Ryan Reynolds loop. Just a box. Trapped in E3 M2.
Yep.
Big Tree Buddy. And Wordle and Clones.
All right. Moon, what do you have?
This isn't even my final form. I had to put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag content. The mission has turned spicy. E3M2. The people. Incredibly cursed experience. And probably a veto, but grinding this guy forever.
Probably, but it's a good non sequitur. I have HQ mission has turned spicy. So either variant of that is probably okay. Trapped in E3 M2, Wordle and clones, and hashtag content. I'm sort of leaning towards mission has turned spicy or E3 M2.
Honestly, I think mission has turned spicy because only giant nerds like you will get the E3M2 thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was on this show before I knew what E1M1 was.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I'm not a PC gamer. I wasn't of that generation.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
yeah,
true.
But you've played Doom, and they like reference it in almost every Doom game.
And I first learned about E1M1 when he explained what it was, and then I reminded
Doom
myself of what it is
2016.
when I played Doom 2016.
Yeah. I'm okay with what should we do? Either HQ mission has turned spicy or the mission has turned spicy. I'm kind of okay with either one.
Can you do quotation marks without messing up the feeds?
Not really.
Because I think if you're going to do HQ, it needs to be quotation marks.
Yeah, we should probably just do the mission has turned spicy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm ready.
Circle. You're ready before I even circled this guy.
It's going to be a really good in-joke, but you have to know where I'm from and how white I am to get it.
I like it.
All right. I want to hear how white I have to be to get this.
Okay. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 750 for March 7th, 2022. The mission has turned spicy.
They put mayonnaise on it.
That's horrible.
Yep. That's pretty good. Hard to beat that one. Yep. Oh, man. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We appreciate it. We hope we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.